Every summer you spray the nest, and every summer yellowjackets come back. That's not bad luck. A single pole barn can hide multiple active colonies inside wall voids, rafters, and light fixtures at the same time. You've been killing the one you can see while the rest rebuild around it. There's a three-part trick pest control companies won't advertise, and it starts with the nests you'll never find. Inside a typical pole barn, the fight against yellowjackets turns into a yearly struggle that feels impossible to win. Even after a homeowner wipes out a nest near the rafters or sprays the buzzing cluster above the light fixture, the relief never lasts. The reason is hidden in the barn's very structure. Yellowjackets are drawn to these buildings because they offer a maze of protected spaces, wall voids, ceiling cavities, and gaps around conduit or light fixtures. Each of these spots can shelter its own colony, often out of sight and out of reach. Entomologists have documented cases where more than 6 active nests coexist in a single barn, each with its own entry point and foraging trail. A homeowner might spot one nest and destroy it, but that leaves the others untouched. The colony inside the wall, or the one tucked above a ceiling panel, keeps working, sending out foragers and quietly raising new queens. By late summer, the visible nest is only a fraction of the problem. The barn itself acts as a shelter, protecting overwintering queens that slip into cracks and voids as the weather cools. When spring returns, those hidden queens emerge and start the cycle all over again, founding fresh nests in the same building year after year. Repeated spraying or knocking down the nest, you can see, often feels like progress, but it rarely touches the root of the problem. The real challenge is not just one nest, it is a network of colonies using the barn's structure to survive. That is why infestations return, even when it seems like every effort has been made. For most homeowners, the battle is lost before it even begins, simply because the hidden colonies are never found or treated. A solution that works behind the scenes starts with a simple bait, boric acid mixed into apple juice. This mixture attracts foraging yellowjackets who drink the sweet liquid and carry small amounts of the toxin back to their hidden nests. Unlike sprays or foams that only reach what is visible, this approach targets the entire colony, including the queen and brood, by using the insect's own food-sharing habits. The boric acid acts slowly, giving workers time to return home and spread the poison throughout the colony. Over several days, the effect ripples underground or inside walls, reaching places that no spray ever could. By focusing on the colony, not just the nest you can see, this method interrupts the cycle of survival that keeps infestations coming back year after year. It is the first step in a system designed to end the problem at its source. Turning the bait concept into action is a straightforward project for any homeowner. A simple bait station can be built from an empty soda can or a plastic container found in most kitchens. The key is to keep the apple juice and boric acid mixture shallow, about ½ inch deep, so yellowjackets can feed easily and leave rather than drown. This design encourages repeated visits, maximizing the chance that foragers will carry the bait back to their hidden colonies. Most honeybees are not drawn to apple juice, so the risk to pollinators remains low, especially when stations are placed away from flowering plants. Setting the station near active wasp trails or entry points focuses the bait on the target pests. With just a few household items and careful placement, homeowners become the operators of a system that works quietly and continuously against the source of the infestation. For yellowjackets that are out in the open or clustered on a reachable nest, the simplest tool is often a spray bottle filled with water and a generous squeeze of Dawn dish soap. When this mixture hits a wasp, the soap breaks down the insect's waxy cuticle, letting water seep through and suffocating it within seconds. Homeowners have used this method to knock down dozens of wasps at a time, especially when nests are exposed and easy to reach. Because dish soap isn't a regulated pesticide, there's no license required, and cleanup is as simple as wiping away the residue. But while this approach delivers fast results, it's strictly a contact kill, There's no barrier left behind, and it won't touch any colony hidden inside a wall or ceiling. Barns, however, introduce a serious complication: live electrical wires and fixtures. Spraying soapy water near powered outlets, light boxes or conduit risks electric shock, and most safety codes warn against applying any liquid to energized equipment. In these situations, the tool changes. PT Wasp Freeze 2 is a professional-grade aerosol designed for exactly this problem. Its formula is non-conductive, rated safe up to 47,000 volts, and the can delivers a focused stream that reaches up to 15 feet. This lets a user treat nests tucked above rafters or around live fixtures without shutting off power to the whole barn. Exterminators often demonstrate this method in field footage, showing how the spray can knock down wasps instantly while keeping the operator out of stinging range and away from electrical hazards. Unlike soap and water, PT Wasp Freeze 2 is labeled for use in these tricky spots, making it the go-to option when electricity is a concern. Long after the last Yellowjacket has dropped from a soapy spray or vanished from a bait station, the risk of a new nest lingers in every crack and seam of the barn. That's where Delta Dust steps in, not as another knockdown tool, but as a defense that holds its ground for months at a time. The product contains deltamethrin, a synthetic pyrethroid formulated into a fine dust that clings to rough wood, metal joints, and the shadowy crevices where Yellowjackets love to start over. Once applied, its waterproof formula resists rain, humidity, and the daily temperature swings inside a barn. Even after a summer thunderstorm, the dust remains active, ready to intercept any queen or worker scouting for a new home. Delta Dust's standout feature is its staying power. Manufacturer data and field reports both point to up to 8 months of residual protection under outdoor conditions. That means one application in late spring or early summer can last through the entire nesting season and into the fall, covering the window when new queens are most likely to invade. By targeting the places Yellowjackets use year after year, eaves, wall voids, gaps around doors, and conduit holes, the dust turns the barn's weak points into a long-term barrier. Instead of chasing every new nest as it appears, this method blocks the cycle of rebuilding before it can start. For homeowners tired of treating the same spots each season, Delta Dust transforms prevention from a wish into a reliable physical shield. Yellowjackets shift the rules of engagement the moment they move in. Unlike paper wasps, which tend to ignore mild disturbances, Yellowjackets react with speed and force when their colony is threatened. Extension literature and field reports both describe how a single bump or spray at the wrong time can trigger a defensive swarm, hundreds of stingers in the air within seconds. Professional exterminators do not treat these nests in street clothes. They suit up in full body protection, including gloves, boots, and sealed headgear, because even a small gap can invite a sting. This is not just for show. Yellowjackets can sting repeatedly, and their venom causes more severe reactions than most other wasps. For homeowners, that means every step, setting bait, spraying, dusting, demands real caution. DIY control is possible, but treating an active Yellowjacket nest is never casual work. The risk is real, and taking it seriously is what keeps a practical solution from turning into an emergency. The real breakthrough comes from using all 3 steps in a specific order: bait, knockdown, and prevention. This isn't just a list of products, it's a system that covers the entire Yellowjacket life cycle, closing the gaps that let infestations return. Bait stations go out first, drawing in foragers from every colony, including those hidden deep inside walls or rafters. The slow-acting boric acid works its way back to the queens and brood, reaching where sprays can't. Next comes the direct attack on any visible nest, using either soapy water or a non-conductive aerosol. This step wipes out the immediate threat and clears the air for safer work around entry points. The final piece is long-term prevention. Delta Dust, applied in cracks, voids, and nesting seams, creates a barrier that lasts for months. Each step targets a different phase of the infestation. bait for the hidden colonies, spray for active nests, and dust for future invaders. The order matters. If bait stations stay in place, any surviving foragers from a disturbed nest keep feeding and carry the toxin home, extending control beyond the first strike. Homeowners who tried only knockdown or prevention saw nests reappear every year. It wasn't until the bait step was added that the cycle finally broke. Even professional demonstrations show that this full workflow is what actually ends annual reinfestation, which is rarely discussed in standard pest control contracts. The system is designed to solve the whole problem, not just the part you can see. Every untreated colony means another season of stings and costly repairs. Today, hidden infestations persist in thousands of homes because quick fixes miss the bigger system. True control demands a full cycle approach. The difference isn't luck, it's knowing what's really at work behind your walls. Stay vigilant.